The Dark Ages is a prequel, expanding upon the deep lore that Eternal was mostly implying, set in the distant past before even Doom 2016. The Sentinels are fighting off a demon invasion, and so they call upon their gods, the Makers, who have the Doomslayer brainwashed and tethered to their will, to deploy him for aid, a weapon of mass destruction against the demons. Now, if all this is sounding incredibly silly, it's only because it is. Doom 2016 began slowly planting the seeds of this sillier side of the lore in the second half of its campaign, but mostly maintained a lot of the mystery that kept the Doomslayer as a badass with a vague past. That mystique surrounding him is important. I think the character works best the less we know, and I really started to feel that in Doom Eternal, as even despite my overwhelming love for the game, I greatly disliked how they expanded upon the lore, slowly lifting the veil on what is otherwise an interesting character so long as we're filling in the blanks ourselves. Still, it wasn't pushed too much to the front, and was otherwise a non-issue, easy to ignore, and hey, who's really playing these for a thought-provoking story in the first place, right? The Dark Ages, on the other hand, is hell-bent on absolutely assaulting you with its narrative, taking itself far too seriously while trying to explain and build upon ideas that were only ever alluded to before. While you may be sitting there saying, dude, just ignore it, or who cares, it's a Doom game. I mean, I agree, but there's just so much of it here that while it was easy to brush aside in the previous two entries, it becomes an actual detriment to the game this time around. I'm not going to get into any spoilers beyond what I've already set up, which was just the intro to the game anyways, but the story here is so generic and full of every trope we've seen thousands of times over again. What's even worse is by explaining a lot of this, they're actively making me dislike the narrative as a whole across the trilogy, doing damage to its predecessors. Several times during the many lengthy cutscenes, I couldn't help but feel like I was watching a bad comic book movie, like a really bad one, like a Sony Spider-Man spin-off movie bad. Tell me this fucking guy doesn't fit right into something like Morbius.
The time is now. Avoid the Slayer. We should focus on breaking the humans first.
The line delivery, the writing, the tropes, it's all just so egregious and comes across as a 13-year-old's fan fiction at times. It's really hard to look the other way and focus solely on the gameplay when what you're presenting here is so painful to sit through and you're taking it as seriously as you are. Luckily, despite all that, I still don't really care about the narrative. At the end of the day, I just want some good Doom gameplay, and that's where the Dark Ages can still deliver.